This is the Southside School of Financial Freedom Market Report and Small Account Update for the week ending May 25th, 2024. The market finished mixed this week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average increased 0.01% on Friday, but was down minus 2.33% for the week. The S&P 500 increased 0.7% on Friday and was up 0.03% for the week. The Nasdaq increased 1.1% on Friday and was up 1.41% for the week. Looking at the week, we can see that there were 8 up finishes versus 7 down finishes for the major indexes. On Monday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average finished down, while the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq finished up. On Tuesday, all the major indexes finished up. On Wednesday and Thursday, all the major indexes finished down. And on Friday, they all finished up again. How did you do? My small account finished 4.94% higher and generated cash flow of 2.33%. Even when the market falls and or my account doesn't do well, I still get income or cash flow by selling covered calls and naked puts. This method does not only guarantee cash flow or income, it can also beat the S&P 500. Now, I don't use charts, I don't use fundamental analysis, I don't use indicators or signals, and I definitely don't sit in front of a computer screen all day to watch the market. I simply choose a stock from my watch list to sell covered calls and or naked puts. I do have 5 criteria for choosing stocks to put on my trading watch list. I will not reveal what my criteria are, but if you examine my list, you may be able to figure out the criteria for yourself. The last row, however, is my benchmark row. That is, I measure my performance against gold, silver, and the S&P 500. I choose the stock option based on whether I own the stock or I would like to own the stock. I choose a strike price, an expiration date, a bid, and I submit a limit order. Then I wait for execution. If the sale does not execute, I may change my order or wait until the next day to submit a new order. Looking at my watch list from the week, you can see that the strongest performer on the list and for the 3rd week in a row was Novavax Incorporated, ticker symbol NVAX in the first column. It was up 2.31% on Friday and increased 19.14% for the week. Novavax Incorporated is a biotechnology company that discovers, develops, and commercializes vaccines to protect against serious infectious diseases. The company offers a vaccine platform that uses a recombinant protein approach to vaccine development. It also uses nanoparticle technology, and it has a patented matrix M adjuvant to enhance the immune response in patients. Novavax commercialized a COVID-19 vaccine. The stock has been on a tear recently since it was announced 3 weeks ago that the French drug company and vaccine giant Sanofi would invest $1.2 billion to take a minority stake in Novavax. Looking at a summary of results, you can see that Novavax has increased almost 223% year to date. I have generated cash flow from Novavax in the past, but this week I generated cash flow from selling 6 other option contracts, 4 calls and 2 puts that range from $4.34 to $24.34. Thus, on Monday, I sold a call for $12.34. On Wednesday, I sold 2 calls, one for $24.34 and one for $17.34. On Thursday, I sold 2 puts, one for $24.34 and one for $8.34. And on Friday, I sold a call for $4.34. That's a total of $91.04, which is not a lot of money, but the account is small. $91.04 in cash flow was 2.33% of my account value. With this system, this money is free and clear. You can take it out of your account and spend it or leave it in to build your cash balance and or invest it. If you want To increase the amount of cash flow, just use a larger account. So, for example, to 10x the cash flow to $910.40, use a larger account, and instead of selling one of everything that I sold, sell 10. This strategy is guaranteed to produce cash flow immediately and every week that it is applied. However, it does not guarantee the amount of cash flow from week to week nor the value of your account. The amount varies and the account value varies. Despite the variations in amount and value, the goal is to generate cash flow and beat the S&P 500, and that is what I am openly showing you every week as it happens. Note, most professional money managers and their strategies do not consistently beat the S&P 500 every year. They usually lose, and they lose by a lot. Last year, this method beat the S&P 500 by almost 12%, but in 2024, my account is down minus 14.09% versus 11.39% up for SPY and S&P 500 ETF. That's a difference of 25.48%. So I am losing to the S&P 500 by about 25.5%. It is not unusual to beat the S&P 500 one year and then lose to the index the next year. It seems that I might befall the same fate as most professional money managers. I am still trailing S&P by a lot, though I am gaining ground. Will I keep gaining ground next week? Tune in to find out what happens. Bitcoin Watch. Bitcoin gained 2.68% this past week and is in a bull market as it is still trading near all-time highs. It is up almost 64% year to date. Some people believe Bitcoin is the most transformative financial asset in 1,000 years. I think the best course of action is to dollar cost average, that is DCA into the S&P 500 and DCA into Bitcoin at a 30 to 70 ratio. And do that for the next 10 years or up until when you have invested at least $10,000. I may start such a strategy soon. What do you think? What is your strategy? Do you know how to produce cash flow every year and beat the S&P 500? Do you invest in Bitcoin, which may prove to be the smartest investment of the decade? As you develop, analyze, and implement your strategy, please check back to see how my small account performs against the S&P 500 from week to week by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you.